there with on Monday Night Raw between the baby faces and the Judgment Day, Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso and those guys. Adam Pearce goes into a tizzy, bans the Judgment Day from the tag team title match later in the night from ringside. There, he said the arena, so he kicked them all out. So we got Damian Priest and Finn Balor versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. And then out of nowhere, during the middle of the match, towards the end of the match, Drew McIntyre appears. Claymores Jey Uso, throws him in the ring. Judgment Day get the win. 1, 2, 3. Drew walks to the top of the aisle and shakes Mommy's hand. And there we are. We have our heel turn. We have officially Drew McIntyre joining the Judgment Day. What do you guys think about this?
Like Lewis said a couple of weeks ago, he was teetering. He was teetering in between being a heel and a babyface, and the loss against Seth Rollins is what finally sent him over the edge to finally become a full-fledged heel now. And I must say I like the execution. And even though Lewis is probably going to harass us now because he was the one that properly predicted this was going to happen, but aside from that, I'm glad that we're finally getting this the Scottish psychopath back on our televisions again. I've already told my story a whole bunch of times about why Drew McIntyre deserves to be paid. We've heard my spiel about it. We know that he held the company down during the pandemic, and that he should be taken care of at this point. But I'm glad that we're finally getting this character change. I feel like people have been waiting for it for so damn long because they remember how good he was as a heel when he had Dolph with him and such. So glad we finally getting a heel Drew McIntyre. And I guess one of us on this panel doesn't agree. So.
Let it be known that this brain right here. Let it be known that this brain, made these predictions. Might as well just call me Charles Xavier or something. I could see into the future. But Daniel refuses to believe my words. He doesn't heed my warnings. He's like, no, he's gonna win a crown jewel. No, he's gonna do this. No, and look what happens. Whew, to the T. The only thing, it's honestly, yes, he's turned heel, but I am surprised that he's turning heel with the Judgment Day. And I already saw somebody post a thing where like he's in like Judgment Day gear, and I'm like, I even said it. I was like, I don't see Drew. I swear, if he comes out in mascara, I'm throwing the towel away. I'm like, what are you doing? If I see this man with some dark eyeliner around his eyes, I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? I'm like, he better just come out with at least his hair just like forward, like he did with Dolph, and that's your heel, persona. Right?
Yeah, that's how he needs to come out.
Exactly. I'm like, he doesn't need leather, this purple. That I swear, if he ends up looking like Finn Balor as a purple pirate, it's just gonna destroy all his momentum. So they need to get the look right. I am intrigued to see what they're gonna do with this. Is this going to lead to a clash between him? Because from my understanding, I feel like this is just going to lead more to friction with Damian, because I guarantee Damian didn't know nothing about this, but we'll see. And there's definitely going to be a power struggle because you got two big men. Obviously, Damian's Money in the Bank, but Drew's a fucking powerhouse. So there's gonna be that like, we should go take this person out. Oh crap! Is gonna be Drew? Is gonna be Damian? And I think that's what's gonna lead to Damian finally leave, because they've already been dropping breadcrumbs on that too of him leaving the Judgment Day. So he already has his own distrust within the group, and especially with Cody getting under his skin about who's the leader, who's this, and him calling himself the leader. You know, it's not gonna happen. So, but I really just hope the execution matches the action, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my take on it, obviously I'm disappointed. And I'm going to say this, Drew McIntyre is a chump. He's a chump.
Why?
He's a chump.
Why?
He's a chump.
Why?
Why does he need the help of anybody?
Because
his
he's
whole
been
thing is, I
failing.
don't trust anybody. Nobody helps me.
He's been failing.
Man,
he looks like a loser. He's a loser.
Ever since he lost the WWE title, the man has had like multiple title matches and come up short in every single one of them. So, Intercontinental title matches against Roman Reigns, now against Seth. Like, so all these opportunities he has blown. He has shit the bed on all of them. And now he's to the point. Now he's to the point where character wise he needs a change because he's failed on these opportunities. I mean that seems pretty straightforward to me.
Yeah, and I don't see how you can call him the chump. You act like we've never seen this happen before. How many people have joined factions? Look at Evolution.
Drew McIntyre, Drew McIntyre is a former champion. Drew McIntyre has been in these tough battles with all these big titans in WWE.
Is he a former champion?
And then all of a sudden he gives in. He gives in.
Yeah, we do.
He gives in. He gives in
after
to the Judgment Day, who have been running roughshod over everybody. He's a chump. He's a chump. He can't do it. He's not a champion. He's not a champion. He's not a main eventer. That's what it is. That's what I'm saying. He's not a main eventer. He doesn't have fortitude.
Not a main eventer.
See, this man is he only goes. He's only throwing all this shade because his predictions were wrong. You know, he can't stand the fact that some of us know how things are gonna go. But now we got to call him a chump and a loser.
I'm fine. And listen, his heel turn should have been on his own. He should have been a badass and just been a heel, and then just be conjoined with the Judgment Day. Actually joining them is crazy. He looks like a loser. He looks like a guy who was 0-4 in his last title bouts. All of a sudden, just go into a group because he lost. Come on, come on.
I mean, they cut it. I
don't like it for him.
They cut a deal, and then on top of that, remember he cut a promo with Seth backstage prior, where he pretty much said like Seth, Seth, you said that at the end of this match that the result no matter what the result would be. Things would be what they are, and he shook Seth's hand. So we assumed that meant that obviously he was going to continue with his babyface ways. At least it was assumed that. So
bait and switch.
Yeah, it was the swerve, bro.
As I said, I just don't like it. I just don't like it for him. And when he comes out in purple tights and mascara, you guys are going to be upset.
When he comes out what?
When he comes out in purple tights and mascara, you guys are going to be.
Did they say he wasn't in the Judgment Day? Did they say he was an ally to the Judgment Day? I mean, they didn't even make that perfectly clear.
He shook Mommy's hand. He shook Mommy's hand.
He could just be the new enforcer.
and again, that's what they're missing for the group, right? I mean, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with him and Damian Priest. Obviously, Damian Priest was the one that was saying, I'm the leader on Raw. And then he was like, hey, it's only right that I bring JD McDonough into the group. So that's two additions that they brought in. JD McDonough officially becomes a part of the Judgment Day. And then we saw Drew McIntyre join at the end of the night, which it looks like him and Finn and nobody else had an idea of what was happening. So to get that aspect of it and seeing where they're going to continue with that, obviously I think him and Damian are going to be butting heads for leadership of the group. And I think if it's somebody who can turn around and be the de facto leader, it is Drew McIntyre. He's physically imposing. Hopefully he gets a championship out of this somehow. It's going to be interesting to see where they go with this, and I think that's what they're playing up. Maybe Damian and Drew can face each other for the title at some point, or maybe something happens where Damian cashes in and is now champion or something like that. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from there and see who gets a title shot. What's the pecking order? Obviously, Damian and Finn are still tag champs. So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. At what point are they, if they're going to drop the tag team titles, and at what point is Damian Priest going to cash in? Does he have the support of his group behind him or not? And the addition of Drew brings a whole different dynamic to it, which is going to be interesting.
Maybe they'll pull a evolution
because they can go a bunch.
They'll pull a evolution. Damian wins the title. Yep, and then
or before it even gets
that would be crazy.
or before it even gets to that, to really show that he's not one of us anymore. Just cost him his money in the bank cashing.
Oh
yeah.
No.
If you really
he's out
of this group now, cost him the money in the bank briefcase.
Hey, Lewis.
Tell me someone who has survived.
God giveth and
tell
taketh
me
away.
no. Tell me someone who has survived a failed cash in and became champion later on.
Whoa.
Okay, tell me who didn't have the additional power.
Became champion afterwards. That was what I said.
Who he doesn't have. No one has ever had the power of Bad Bunny as an ally. That is his saving grace. You know Bad Bunny's coming back.
That's the way
And they're not even allies.
Bad Bunny's coming back for WrestleMania.
Each other the last time.
Friends fight. Didn't Triple H and Shawn Michaels get the band back together?
Oh, man.
I don't think they should ever go back to that, because that match in Puerto Rico, that atmosphere in Puerto Rico, everything in Puerto Rico that contributed to that was so damn good that I don't even think they should ever go back to it ever again. Because everything in Puerto Rico leads that culminated with that was perfect. So I wouldn't touch it again.
Who is Damian going to team with? Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, who he's been kicking their ass for the past 6 months? That's who he's going to battle with? That's who he's going to team up with?
He's going to find himself in the same dilemma.
I don't know.
He's going to find himself in the same dilemma that Jey Uso was in when he first came to Raw, where everyone's going to be looking at him now like, yeah, you were on Judgment Day, you were whipping everybody's ass, so now we don't trust you. It's going to be the same thing.
He can quit. He can quit, go to SmackDown, and then join the LWO. There we go. That's the storyline for Damian Priest. He can join the LWO, a new fresh face to the LWO, and lead that into the new stratosphere. If Santos is on his own or whatever. But we definitely don't want to fail to cash in. But it's going to be interesting to see what Drew McIntyre, because obviously Damian has title aspirations. Drew has title aspirations. So I'm only thinking it's only right that they butt heads at some point. It's going to get interesting to see what happens there. We can move on here to potentially Randy Orton returning at Survivor Series. There's been rumblings of this for a while.